Hello, welcome back to my channel Code with Michael. Today in our tutorials, in our video today, we are going to talk about if statements in Python. If statements, that decision making in Python. So if statements allow your program to make decisions based on conditions. So let's say in real life situation or scenarios, you want to check if a person is old enough to vote. In your program, you're going to use if statement. You want to determine if a student passed an exam based on their score. You're going to use what we call the if statement. So the if statements allow your program to make decisions based on some conditions. Let's say you want to decide whether to apply a discount based on a purchase amount. So let's dive right into coding to explain the point. So we are going to build a simple voting eligibility to make sure people who gets to vote, or to check if a person is old enough to vote. So let me say vote.py. I'm going to explain everything point by point. I'll create my variable age and I'll take an input from the user. First, let me use an integer because I would want to convert anything the user types into an integer or a number. So then I'm going to display enter your age. Okay, so this point is displaying that I have a variable and then I'm taking an input from the user. So anything the user types, I save it into age. So if the user types the age, first I convert the age into an integer, a number, and I save it into a variable called age. So now I can use whatever thing that is inside this variable called age. So I want to check the eligibility of people who can vote. I want to check if a person is old enough to vote. So I will say if, so this is the if statement. We have a keyword called if. So we say if age is greater than or equal to, this is called operations in programming, is greater than or equal to 18. If age is greater than or equal to 18, then I will print you are eligible to vote. Okay, so first let me explain this point. So what I'm doing is that I saved everything, the age of the user into this variable, and then I'm writing a condition that if the age, that whatever value inside this age is greater than or is equal to 18. So if it is 18 and above, let's say 18, 19, then I'm going to print that, I'm going to tell the user that, yeah, you are eligible to vote. Now see what is happening here. You see, after my first line of code, I brought a semicolon, and now this is called indentation in Python. You see, the print here didn't come under the if, but rather it was indented, like it was shifted to give some space before the next line of code. Okay, we will talk about this in future codes. So in if statement, the code is inside a if block which runs only if the condition is true. You can also have else if and also else to handle multiple cases. So let's say right now we say if the age is greater than or equals to 18, you are going to print you are eligible to, else we will print you are not eligible to vote yet. Okay, so if the age is greater than or equal to 18, meaning the person is eligible to vote. Else, meaning that if it is not greater than or 18, if it is less than 18, we will print you are not eligible to vote. Now let's save this and let's run it here and see the results. So votes.py. So enter your age. Let me enter 21. So I enter 21, I get you are eligible to vote because 21 is greater than 18. Okay, let's try another one. Let me enter 17. So 17, you are not eligible to vote here. Why? Because the code is saying that if the age is greater than or equal to 18, I should print you are eligible to vote. So what is happening is that, so the condition is a Boolean expression, this condition. So meaning, so is age greater than or equal to 18? This one is no. So since it is no, it will not even come here. It will skip this and come to the next line, which is else, because it is not that, so it has to come to the next line, which is else, and print whatever thing that is inside the else block. Then you are not eligible to vote. Let's try one more. Let me say 18. You are eligible to vote because we said if the age is equal to 18 or is greater than 18. So this is an if statement. Now let's try another example. If you want to see determine if a student passed an exam based on their score. So let me create a new file and say grade.py. So let me create a variable called score. I'm going to take the data, that's the grade of students. So since grade can be floating points, I will use float, convert whatever thing the user will type into float, and I'll say enter your exam score. Okay, enter your exam score. So explaining again, so score is a variable, and then I am saving whatever thing the user types into it. But before whatever thing the user types, I first convert it into floating points and I save it inside score. Okay, so we are going to see if the grade, the exam score of so we are going to check to determine if a student passed an exam based on their score. So based on their score, so this is a condition. So we say if score, because their exam score is saved into this variable called score. So if score is greater than or equal to 90, bring your column, enter, it will be indented for you. You will print grade A. So if the score that the user typed is equal to or greater than 90, then you print that the user had grade A. So if this condition, if this first condition is met, if it is true, then it will print whatever thing that is inside this condition. Okay, so else if, so in Python you say if the score is greater than or equal to 80, we are going to print grade B. If the score is greater than or equals 70, we are going to print grade C. Else we will print grade F. So let me save it and explain it. So we are taking the exam score of a student, we are saving it inside the score variable, and then we are running a condition to check if the score the user or the student type is greater than or equal to 90. So if this condition is met, meaning if the score is greater than or equal to 90, then we will print A. We will say the student had grade A. Else if this condition is not met, we will come to this condition to check, or if the score is greater than or equal to 80, we are going to print grade B. Or if the score is greater than or equal to 670, we will print grade C. Else, if none of these conditions are met, we are going to say then the user the student had grade F. So let's run this and check. Let me run grade.py. So enter your score. So let me 23. So I had grade F. Why? Because 23 is not greater than or equal to, it's less than 90, it's less than 80, and it's less than 70. So these conditions, all of these conditions were not met, so it has to come and print this last statement, which is else. So else meaning if none of the above conditions are met, you just print or show, display whatever thing that you want to display in this block. So in this case it will be F. So let's try another example. So let's say I had 55 is grade F. Why? Because 55 is less than these numbers. Okay, so let's try something else. Let's say 72. So 72 is C. Why? Because 72 is less than 90, is less than 80, but is greater than or equal to 70. Yeah, because 70, 71, 72. So I will get C. Let's try another. So let me say I had 86. So 86 will be B. Why? Because 86 is greater than or equal to 80 here. So this is what we call if statement in Python. So if you want to write your if statement, you have your if block, and then you need to have an indentation here. So in if statement, indentation is crucial. All your code inside the block must be indented consistently. So you see here, this is what we call the indentation. So after the semicolon, the print has been indented, so it belongs to this block. So after the elif, print has been indented, it belongs to this block. So in any case you write like this without indentation, Python will display an error. It's a expected indented block, meaning that Python is expecting this to be indented. So this is very crucial, we need to take care of. So this is what we call if statement. You can just brainstorm a solution that you can solve with an if statement. Thank you for joining. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe and like videos and share with your friends. In our next video, we are going to learn about loops in Python. We are going to talk about the for loop and the while loop in Python. So follow us for more videos like this. Thank you and bye bye.